Mr. Simple, Mr. Simple. More simple, 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 dai. Mr. Inchwitz, March 25, 2026, it's hesitating neighbors, we are totally clear, yes, I think I can say totally clear, yes. Scalantis in general, and let's say, there is a wonder, within keywords, we seven minutes. 6 need to find at 16, so iniziative really software community sophisticated issues for the Spring appearance starboards of for the consequence effect channel for years in 2017 select the welcome for years whether was as past summer in fact as past autumn as past winter particularly winter in December 21 at 6:30 p.m. in Italy now also for the spring welcome them and in this case last March 20 was a Friday so and in particular in Italy at 10:01 a.m. Absolutely moving forward and boy Chinese putting it misure traversi dei mesi così e so text intense ma proposal activation for Chinese is better no perhaps for me as in those two television so for the spring and for the summer the autumn the winter in fact the summer is actually soft for the hot for the winter once again it's soft for the winter actually course sono stati in general season superiore così gadget as regard the release it is for me also something così più da su di problem yes even if last yesterday practically a few days ago we entered the spring last 10 days I think unless it's still no last 4-5 days was 5 days we entered yes the spring where it's still cold and so for this what I know I feel cold thanks also to the things you was repeat and say already in my winter weather reports and so I don't know if for people because I don't know if you cold I need to think yes I need to think a lot of it I know but si pensa andiamo a think at 95% feel cold or in general for me this period good and if it is cold it's still what is got to strangere see for sure that I think is for this it's really beautiful it seems like I believe some of things is Ingrid F, I think it's easy to get just for 6 and 8 forensic assistance. Non può si attacciare. Si fa Skadene se känner så med tvillingar så väcket känner I film shot the whatever success and essentially for the second effect this is a combination also with the period sun in general here came out at south so thanks to these two things you can see sun in general shine particularly so now let's see the things later sun Racket Nazi for the same stuck with refrain of the best one was almost all the see it speaking a bit of them as Kazan absolutely real for the minutes but something for body so malato solo più bello di io solo mia sta in fronte a te o solo mia sta in fronte a te dice che sta in fronte a me sta in fronte a te e si fa che buscare se sta in me dice se te codini se fecchetta فكرة تشانت che non si notati in armenio toni si di sublime tashani content sense third thing is that perhaps no if this thing is impossible la beautiful area kin so to visit now yes you enter now then again the video change bars more then at 3.5 months ago in the start of October and before the secretary beyond from now leave them the sun sky for rather practically 4 hours and 4 hours and 50 minutes maximum more or less compared to volume and phase there's no way completely from the time according my judgment also we also can see can use the term schedule at general terzi time well so from the musical winter the new white cortina flowers mix with my plants in cortina senza sistema ben buona metti insomma questo birthday ureus particolare da birthday River Pass only for those who know it was the best costume so beautiful grey costume with beautiful painted away branches but River Pass back on the best costume new things later matter series one of my comments in section e ci siete poi da fortemente ora andiamo a serie come section I don't know if you can test it well with shot near me on one side while think oh yes however I don't know perché if you're not even better cioè li better sono lasciati pratically so the first part of the video which però c'è scelto lui vedete la scattazione già fanno il classico video con quindi scazzo di loro sono stato non è il risorso da video quindi allora mi ricordo uno or from a player perspective also from this another a shot similar to classic shot film in intersico fatto se che non va molto se tu should be no amount so tu if not sure in intersico for the player scorting repeat beautiful grey curtain beautiful painted with branches perhaps also for the first system story parts car curtain infantry max atrise sure le carico di stealing come magician one day sono già uscito ci trovo così sì in this shot so sorriti spect packet buff one day technology shooter lo so ne si ma tomorrow one day si self che si mangia la storia da little speech or sentence si lo scortiere with visual grey curtain beautiful painted branches perhaps so in this for the first story story parts car curtain also in case entro max atrise and now also in case see read it also con i suoi curtain so have activity expression also in case perfect times as well as little speech or sentence but also always better video for me sentire di inizio shot azione simiti con la genere shot si carica cresciuto in attivismo, fatto che si attivismo per stesso last ottobre, così importante oltre in attivismo, e la serie del special sense for attivismo, also for it, so repeat, again, but also always better visible for me, its entity, in this short, si consigmiti con la genere shot. And finally, Roman goalkeeper Ajax, Corti PG, scritto di famoso, si shot. Senza X, il messaggio autentico, forse ti posso dire, fa un anno di shot, film mi fa che ti magari sono anche forte, solo borsi, ma quando che the birth of USS, the create legendary Michael also known as the sheriff, Twin Peaks sheriff department Rituman, because all the contrary Twin Peaks sheriff department Rituman also known as Michael because was not shown the one and the same, and magari things a few years ago I 2 days ago I uploaded, 3 days ago I uploaded first version of my integration of the track Chosen to a beautiful masterpiece. I recommend it from component from to mix season 2. It was both dedicated to my content the party, master visual management expert, in fact the SEO, e the party also to Mr. Lynch party, the party last channel 23, is a city che guarda diciamo con interpretation full interpretation succede prego vita di Sejano fisico fa con March 22 vabbè this is shot no shot fact which you can see the actual condition vabbè we see this shot is no shot fact you can see the actual condition of the keep about the actual condition since December 7th to 24 fact since today this main project is right in the display also the promise wet another the promise the main promise is fact repeat so right in the display and one is on the time to fix it well, let me people follow the journey, but it's getting the way. So, but it's shit myself, huh? Trust was getting finally, you will get breakfast. Let's say, in general, it's general, so not information. As an evidence, as to some one factor in Turkish prestamits, it in general for the people who for the night, or total Mayasus, or so kind of sort of money, like breakfast. This hours later, see. With a period between December and January, fiber presence, fiberness grows in one family, violence splits between the wheel until one civil, next December and January, trade them, but the one participated in the range, 32% of Quebec spending assuming this the week better than me, spending apartment with the rest of the preparation and so on. So, such a brief review, così da niente, tutto sommato, sembra da una norma di stress, just or loans, che sono quelli che competizione. Altri negativi ci saranno sentenziali soprattutto ecco sono subito in fuori assolutamente partecipato che parla di essere scimmorra la mia è solo sullo sto consiglio che per capire scritto per la cosa ma io Friday si va di record di resort 6 resort and also records the beautiful blame dark blue light and this was for the doors the first one was blue and white this is a light blue and for aspects first one is also the record and I consider that we think we need to meet the regarding the time I think we need to meet because 16 15 Federico guys and should be 15 Federico but should be 15 Federico I used to think that perhaps non ci volevo on Friday su Waterport finché una boy non one which any other maybe su Waterport I yes this is to be the prima attribuito to one day quanta occasione cioè questo better visit today c'è stato di single may speech should you the freeze on Friday yes frisare shot su bisogno di giocare to combat for one year at solution frisare bis su sarà effetti fa almeno sul combo su visual biscuits and see as I think that one makes it to the quarter chocolate chip cookies or the cookies chips chocolate chips and if I to mistake questo è tutto biscuits miscellaneous in particolare c'è una storia di piacere mi faccio battere mi fa che giusto in shot to limit the got ma tu sono scritto shot per questo da fare shot per 20 video sai shot mi fa okay also mi si dice questo un solo questo punto should be inside the video non che don't c'è questo per also non è finisce analisi anzi in virtù di think 3 anni and 6 7 8 days pratically the result of the exam is once this is once a month before it should be 9 months yes and so also in case of questo punto should be this and the years and damage questo better so since it want to say that and certain things so very minus quindi se aspetta un breakfast questa buona sarebbe last video particolare sì che last video su gioco tutto combatto ma non è solo per significante quest'anno su video e iniziamo nel son settori come breakfast lo sembra un po' se continua a qualsiasi quindi farebbe sia stare con per seguire la position also seguire di parte per position che già possiamo seguire per position because after this position we don't have poi allora non mi risulta il botto That's true. Tomorrow is supposed to be coming tomorrow to leper. Now I see. And now I see two things what I repeat, two things. This is just if factor. Last time, the first thing it was the second is before, perché se scende tu can see that is night with me, totally is beautiful. Need as soon as the scene content sense. And the second thing it was the before, perhaps not repeating it's impossible beauty like this. To kiss the scene, to kiss it once again. And also a petite, really sublime in the content sense.